For the people of Israel, this isn't just another escalation, it's a fight for survival. But behind the headlines lies something deeper. Before I was evacuated, I spent a week with unprecedented access trying to understand the story from both sides. This information isn't communicated to the world. There's a failure on media organisations, media outlets, governments to make that case. My name is Robert Midgley. I'm a former journalist for The Telegraph, Mirror and Bloomberg. I was videographer to 3 British Prime Ministers in number 10 Downing Street. I've advised in the Foreign Office. I've served in the Army's disinformation unit. And after years of watching the UK change with radical protests taken to the streets, I wanted to know the truth for myself. Like many people, I woke up on the Saturday morning, turned on my phone, opened Facebook to see these live streams going on from people going house to house in this village with guns. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I didn't think it was real. And now to be here in the kibbutz that was first attacked is completely surreal.
Reporting on the WhatsApp group chat of the kibbutz that they're hearing gunshots or that they're hearing Arabic being spoken outside of their home. So very quickly, the residents began to understand that something was out of the ordinary. Nobody understood at the time the magnitude of the attack or that there'd be an influx of hundreds of terrorists invading the kibbutz, but people understood that there was some sort of security breach or terrorist infiltration. So right now we're standing in the Young Generation neighborhood, which is the most northern neighborhood of the kibbutz, which is closest to the border with Gaza. We're about 1.2 kilometers away from Gaza right now, directly across from the area of Jabalia. So there's a fence that surrounds the entire premises of the kibbutz. And then in between here and Gaza, there's agricultural fields that belong to the kibbutz that also serve as some sort of buffer zone, meaning nobody lives there. And then there's another fence outside of Gaza. But you can imagine living here and knowing that there's terrorists 1.2 kilometers away from you with rockets and bombs aimed at your homes. And unfortunately, this was actually one of the first neighborhoods they were able to attack in the kibbutz because it is so close to the Gaza borders. Yeah, and you could see every single home was systematically attacked. And mind you, this is where the young generation of the kibbutz lived. All young people in their 20s with their bright futures ahead of them, innocent people who never would hurt a fly, filled with life and love, and this is what remains.
One story that stood out for me was that people in the kibbutz had sympathy towards Gazans, employed them, brought them into their homes, helped them out for years. In the meantime, those Gazans would pass information back to Hamas, which gave them the information for the attack on October 7th. Many Gazans who had become trusted friends followed Hamas through the breach and helped kill people and loot their homes. Those Gazans really did betray those who helped them. This morning we were over at the kibbutz where Hamas first started their attack on people in the community about 6:30 in the morning on October the 7th. And at the same time, the terrorists came to where we are now, which is the Nova Music Festival scene. I'm here with Majdal, who is a survivor of it. And we've just heard like a really harrowing story of your survival. My main question is, how do you feel when you see protesters in favor of Palestine around the world?
This is why I start to come here and talk and share my story. In the first 4 months, I was only in my trauma, trying to understand. And after that, I saw all the lies about what's happening, about what is my country, about my people, about us, about everything. And we get it that they succeed to convince a lot more people. And I see strong people, decision makers that agree with Hamas. Like they really don't condemn them and don't say like it's not about land. They don't get it that. So
And do you think that's a problem with the media? Do you think that's a way things are being communicated?
yeah, I think they succeed to convince them with all the lies that you see. Because I saw a movie of that explain what is Gaza in Israeli, and you see an Israeli like is like supposed to show the both sides, and you see a little bit terrorists in this area killing little bit people, hostages that came back, and a lot of bodies of children in Gaza and hard things. Like if I don't was from here and understand really what's happening, and I was live, I don't know, in London or I don't know where, I always believe that, okay, it was very bad what they do, but what Israel do now, it's not wrong. But it's not like that. This is what they're trying to do, to change the reality, how it is, because what's happened in October 7 is a group of sick people that come here and kill and rape and burn a lot of people, that, and here only is a place only of love and accept and want to be together. And it was here Jews, Muslim, Christian, gays, straight, elders, youngest, everyone and every, black, white, everything. And it's come to here, and they do things that I in movie never see. And the excuse of the occupation is wrong, because if you have a situation about land, go and fight against the soldiers, against what I do to you. I don't have weapon. Why are you trying to kill me? So.
And there's still 55 hostages left
We
as
have
well.
still 56.
So
hostages.
how do you feel about that? One last thing, how do you feel about those 55 still being in captivity?
It's crazy that we need to explain and
What can
trying
the
to
world
convince.
do to help?
In the first week, what's right to do, it was to get inside to Gaza, take all Hamas, put them in the jail, because we have evidence all the what they do, give good leadership to Gaza people, that heal them of all the hate that they are years like felt, and all the kids that they dream is to kill Jews is abuse. This is the hypocrisy of all the humanity rights organization that talk about, that want to help the kids there, but they want, when they see kids with a weapon, it's okay, like this is not abuse. So now is 2 years. It's crazy that we keep going, need to convince the world that is not right, that
In
people,
one sentence, what can you say to the world to help? One sentence.
One sentence. Wow.
And maybe you can say it to the camera.
Please, trying to really understand what's happening, really understand who are you helping. When you say you want to help to Gaza people, trying to understand when you help to the people there, the government, the leadership there, you are hurting their people, not opposite way. So please help to remove them their control and give them a good leadership, and us to be safe.
About 20 minutes away from the Nova Music Festival is this. It's a wall of cars, like a graveyard of all the cars involved in the terror attacks. And each car has its story, whether it's good or bad. It's people trying to save other people. It's they've even got like a Hamas car with a gun on top. It's got an ambulance that was hit by an RPG. And it really brings to life the terror all these people went through. I've seen footage of all these cars that were sort of scattered along the road. And I think it's really good that it's been brought here and been made like a story out of now.
So this is the car of my brother-in-law's roommate at school, Ori Danino, and he was at the Nova Festival, and he managed to get out when all the rockets fell. He managed to get out. Ori, in this very car, went backwards and forwards with people. He managed to save quite a few people, and then decided to go back to try and save people that he'd just met that evening at the festival, being Maya Regev, Itai Regev, brother and sister, and Omer Shem Tov. Unfortunately, on the way out, they were captured by Hamas terrorists, and all four were taken to Gaza as hostages. Maya and Itai were rescued in the first hostage deal. Omer Shem Tov was released recently. We didn't know what had happened to Ori Danino at all, but then we saw Hamas videos of him. And at 11 months of his captivity, after being tortured, caged, starved, beaten, we found that he was murdered by gunshot at point-blank range. And this is the very car that he used to try and rescue people.
Filming becomes a bit more limited as we edge closer to the Israel-Egypt-Gaza border. I'm told not to be alarmed by any sound of artillery or machine gun fire. Mortar attacks are common here, and not to point my camera at any guards who are very much on edge right now. I'm currently on the border between Israel, Gaza and Egypt. And this is where the aid flows in. At the moment it's empty because we're waiting for Gazans to come in and take the aid, but international organisations come here, drop all these pallets off, and then it's taken away. And you might be able to hear it, you might not, but there's sort of bombing in the background, there's artillery in the background, machine gun fire. It's quite a tense situation. We were having dinner and the sirens started moving off and we pulled down the bunker, and as we're sat here we can hear lots of guns above. We're going to our phones, giving you some updates on what's going on above us, and we can see live streams of the missiles being intercepted. There's been a ballistic missile sent to the back, and we can literally hear it right now.
Look at the damage on the buildings. I mean, the shutters completely blown in, windows blown in, dozens of injuries here, and 6 people killed in the building where the missile hit directly.
The next morning, life continues. I'm leaving Tel Aviv to understand the situation in the north of the country as I head to the Golan Heights.
Even during that time, if you look here on your left, you'll see a place called Kalat Namrud. This is a Mamluk.
This is Majdal Shams, a unsuspecting, quiet Druze town which fell under Hezbollah missile attack on the 27th of July 2024.
Hello everybody, I am Naila, Alma's mother, one of the victims. What happened here in Majdal Shams, it's something unbelievable, and we didn't accept that this going to happen here in this peaceful village. We lost on July 27, 2024, 12 angels of peace and love. They were aged between 10 and 16 years old. They were full of love and peace. They were the energetic of their families, the heartbeats. I'm the mother of Alma 11 and a half years old. So what happened here was something unbelievable, because we live here in triangle between, Lebanon, Syria, and Israel, and we got suddenly a rocket from Hezbollah. And on Saturday, under a blue sky, that meant to carry their dreams, it carries their lives. It carries their lives. The pure angels, they had a simple message, but it carries the power of love and hope. Peace and humanity must come first. We have to think, and we are smart enough to build a world full of love and peace and acceptance. We here in Majdal Shams, still what happened, we still suffer from a lot of pain. We can't live our days peacefully as we were before. So I'm going to ask and send this message to the world. We have to wake up. We have to wake up and keep going, spread love and acceptance. And we have to think also, I'm not going to accept that other kids going to pay the price. I'm not going to ask for revenge. No, I'm asking for acceptance in order to let the chance for thousands and millions of kids that they deserve to live in peace. And that's all. We're not asking too much. We're asking to live in peace. That's all.
So I'm here with Major Diamond on the Israeli-Syrian border, and I just wanted to ask you what we're doing here. What's the danger between Israel and Syria? Why are we here today?
So we are currently standing right on top of Mount Bental, which is the mountain, one of the highest mountains that we have here in the area, and we're overlooking into the Quneitra area, and we are right now continuing to protect and to strengthen our eastern front, the eastern border that we have with Syria, because of the Assad regime that collapsed and the new regime that has come in. And again, one of the main lessons learned that we understood on after October 7th is that we need to strengthen our borders to make sure that no entity, no one can try and do something that even resembles to the October 7th. That's why we're here protecting, guarding, and making sure that everything stays peaceful and quiet, especially here on the northern front.
And you got a lot of criticism when you rolled the tanks into Lebanon. What was your justification for going into Lebanon?
The reason we maneuvered into Lebanon is because the Hezbollah has turned the southern part of the Lebanese border with Israel into a stronghold. Hezbollah fired rockets and missiles into populated areas. You visited with me just now. We came back from Majdal Shams, where one of those rockets had killed 12 kids that played in the park on a Saturday afternoon. They were killed by a Falak 1 rocket that was fired by Hezbollah. We had to maneuver inside the southern part of Lebanon into the strongholds of Hezbollah. One, to make sure that they do not fire any other rockets or missiles towards cities and communities on the Israeli side. And number two, to get rid and to confiscate all of the weapons that they've stockpiled there for many, many years. Weapons that at the end of the day were against the Israeli civilians that are living adjacent to the border itself.
Israel is a country that is under constant existential threat. There's missiles coming from Lebanon, where we're on the border with right now, Syria, Yemen, Gaza. People live in this threat every day. There are sirens going off in Tel Aviv every day. There are bunkers by the side of the road that people have to run to within a minute. And this information isn't communicated to the world. It's a failure on media organizations, media outlets, governments to make that case that these people are always under an existential threat. And one more thing is that, outlets like the BBC that publish the misinformation that they're handed to by Hamas, press releases, they just copy and paste it over. They've revoked 8, maybe more articles that are completely wrong. But the problem is that information, it's already done the damage, and they can revoke it, but people won't see that. They need to get it right the first time, because now that has influenced and potentially radicalized people to rally against Israel. And that's where you get all the Free Palestine protests coming through. It's a real issue. And there is a silent majority that understands this. But the thing is, those people are very much bystanders that rely on people with a voice to speak up about these things. And at the moment, the loudest monster in the room is that radicalized minority that are making that case for Free Palestine. We all believe it should be Free Palestine, but it should be Free Palestine from Hamas, because they're the terrorists that are carrying out the atrocities every single day. From aid workers, doctors going in there, people helping them, people delivering food, people who are driving the ambulances, taking people to a refuge. They're the ones who are creating these atrocities, and they're the ones who are governing this territory with an iron fist.